Shalom, Call Haloyim, La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who have taught us knowledge. Honors and salutations to you, fellow laborers that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. Shalom to you. Shalom to the Akwaf that believe as well. Back at you with another lesson. And I just entitled it A Sword is Sharpened. And Lord willing, this video was edifying. I was reading up on this situation with the World Health Organization coming out with another warning of a potential pandemic. I was watching the one of the elders video, and there was Elder Yashawamba, one of the elders out in Dallas. I was watching this video as I'm driving down the road, and as I'm listening, he brought up, something that, he was like, look into it. You don't know what it is, and I've been hearing things about it, but I never looked into it. Now, I recently heard a couple brothers mention that, and just recently, like this past week, I believe. The past week, I heard about this disease X, and so I looked it up on Google, and I found this article, and it's from the New York Post. It says, "What is disease X?" And it says the Crown Vic experts warn it could cause deadlier pandemic. So the undertone was the World Health Organization keeps a short list of priority diseases that could cause the next deadly pandemic. All right, so again, Lord willing, is edifying. I'm going to read some of this article, and I got some precepts pulled up. As a matter of fact, before I even go any further, let me grab this right here. Jeremiah 8:28. It says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence." And the same thing that the prophets of old prophesied about are the same things that we prophesy about, all right, during these times right here, because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah set up, his service of prophets, all right, and those of us that serve Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, we know his will, the Heavenly Father's will. We know that these things are going to happen, excuse me, and we expect these things to happen because we're living in the time of great judgments coming to pass, major prophecies coming to pass, especially, the destruction of Babylon the Great. All right. And, we're in the midst of the time of Jacob's trouble, which is the time of trouble for all you Israelites out there. All you Israelites, which are the so-called Negroes, Latino, and Native American people, we're the Israelites, and it's a time of trouble for our nation, okay? And we're in the beginning stages of it, all right? If not further along, because things are heating up, okay? Things are heating up. So let's get into the article. It says, the term disease X is used by the WHO, which is a World Health Organization, as a placeholder to describe a disease that's unknown to medical science as a cause of human infections. And as a new disease agent, whether it's a virus, a bacterium, a fungus, or other agent, there likely won't be any vaccines, or few, if any, treatments available. This isn't the stuff of science fiction. Dr. Richard Hatchett of the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations told the Telegraph. This is a scenario we have to prepare for. This is disease X. So, pretty much, when you look into prophecy, prophecy speaks about pestilence. All right, pestilence. If you don't know what pestilence means, it means, well, let me get it. All right, let me get it. Let me 1 second. Let me get this. Okay. This is the word pestilence. It says a fatal epidemic disease, especially bubonic plague, which goes to the Black Plague, and that's prophecy, because when you go into Scripture, like I just read, war, evil, and pestilence. Well, Yahweh Shai, all right, spoke about that as well. Now, I can go right to Matthew, because I was going to get another one, but Matthew come right off the top of my head. Because our Lord Yahweh Shai, the Messiah, he spoke about these things. This is Matthew 24, and starting at verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Yeah, and this is what he was telling his disciples. Keep that in mind. That was asking him, when he was going to restore the kingdom to Israel, or what will be the change of times, meaning the age or rulership, and time for the kingdom of Israel to be implemented. All right, which it wasn't during that time when he walked among the Jews at Jerusalem, and they was inquiring, the signs, all right, that or what to look for to know when these things are getting ready to come to pass, right? And so this is what he's telling his disciples. Verse 7, it says, and this is the key point, for a nation shall rise against nation. Yeah, we're witnessing that right now. Nations rise against nations. All these wars and rumors of wars. You got, a rumored war with Moab, even the Persians, which are the Iranians in the Bible, Iran. Those rumors of wars. Of course, you have the war that's going on, between Ukraine and Russia. That's going on right now as well, right? So nations are rise up against nation, in war. Okay, it says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in different places. All right, and so these are things that we're witnessing. All right, famines, shortage of food, pestilences, which are these different diseases out here in the world, and earthquakes in different places. You Google earthquakes, a lot of earthquakes will come up, because earthquakes happen, quite frequently. It's just the ones that's not as catastrophic, they're not reported as much, but they're happening a lot. Okay. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows, right? So those are the beginning of sorrows, and Yahweh Shai, all right, told his disciples, what was going on, okay? What would be going on, all right, during, the changing of times, all right? The signs you would know to identify when the changing of times or rulership or age or empire will be changing from one nation to another, and especially involving Esau and Jacob, because we know the scriptures say that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. All right, and Jake knew that back then, because who was ruling over Jake at Jerusalem then? All right, who was the Romans? Okay, they was the Edomites. All right, the house of Esau, Edom. when you go into the history, and you know their lineage, before it became the Holy Roman Empire, where Israelites actually ruled, all right, it was the Edomites that ruled, okay? So, fast forward today, roughly 2,000 years forward, who's ruling? Esau, Edom. All right, who's standing up in righteousness and, you know, in great boldness? The sons of Jacob. We're standing up and we're telling Esau his downfall. We're telling him his end, okay? And a part of his end, all right, will be that the Lord will hit his kingdom with plagues, okay? And we're witnessing the plagues. One of the plagues that I'm speaking about, or going into it right now, okay? Matter of fact, let me get another precept that speaks about that. Let me go to the other app, go into the Apocrypha. I go in the book of 2nd Esdras, 16th chapter. 2nd Esdras 16 and 5. It says, plagues are sent. Matter of fact, let me go to 15 first. That's a let me get the one at 15. Shalakia. Because that's a good one. 2nd Esdras 15, starting at verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. And you got to think about us Israelites, all right, out of our nation, right, 2/3 of our people, all right, will be slaughtered, all right, during this time, because that's the judgment that the Lord has put in place. He has a remnant, all right, which is a 1/3 in total. In the election, all right, the elect men, 144,000, come out of that remnant, all right, because a total of 1/3 of us will be saved. All right, start with the elect, the 144,000. All right, 12,000 men will be tried. Okay. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to the will in the land of Egypt. Right, and it's not talking about old Egypt. All right. It's not talking about old Egypt. Remember when we was delivered from old Egypt, that deliverance is still talked about to this very day, because that was a great deliverance that the Lord had done, all right, for our ancestors, okay? Verse 11, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Now, how we know it's not talking about old Egypt? Because there's a place, all right, where the scriptures refer to spiritually being Sodom and Egypt, and that would be so-called America today. Okay, so-called America. That's the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter and the 8th verse. You know, I'll get it. You know, because it truly is spiritually Sodom and Egypt, and we know what Sodom was all about. Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding cities thereof. Total of 5 cities. You know, the Lord destroyed it for abominable works and acts that was being performed, which the Lord hates, and he destroyed it with fire. Okay, and then Egypt, all right, which our ancestors served bondage, our hard bondage in the land of Egypt, which is Mizraim, in the land of Ham, which you call Africa today. So this says this in Revelation 11 and 8, because what the Israelites said, now we're over here, all right, in modern day Egypt, which would be America, and we all throughout the the Americas, but right here in the heartland of the Americas, which is the United States of America, so-called. This is the capital place of our captivity, or our punishment, where you have a representation of all the tribes right here in America, all right, what you call it, the U.S., the United States of America. Okay. Revelation 11:8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom in Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And that's talking about right here, again, in so-called the United States of America. Okay, so let's get back to the article. Okay. It says, it is not an exaggeration to say that there is potential of a disease X event just around the corner. Dr. Pranab Chatterjee, researcher at the Department of International Health at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health in Baltimore, told the National Post. See, it's not exaggeration, right? Because these type of things that's going on, all right, when you have this knowledge, when you know this knowledge, this truth, we understand why it's going on, and we know who's behind it, right? All right, hey, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, okay? Now, I'm trying to be YouTube friendly because, you know, we can't say too much because of YouTube. They got they're silencing free speech. And when you speak the truth, really, that's really the free speech that I want to be said. So I'm just keeping it YouTube friendly. You brothers out there that's in the now, that know this knowledge, this truth, you understand what I'm saying. Even you few sisters out there that follow along, okay? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know that Satan comes in the form of physical form, right? The physical counterparts of Satan are the Edomites, the house of Esau, Edom, who is ruling right now, beginning with the elites of this society. Okay, the central bank is on down. We know what's going on, who's behind the scene doing this. See? But you got to prepare for these things. That's the reason we making this video. You got to prepare. All right, you Israelites out there, if you truly believe, you got to prepare. All right, you prepare yourself mentally and spiritually. All right, we're at the end of this thing. All right, remember, Jacob's time of trouble is going to be like a day that, you know, it's going to be like a day of trouble like none other day we had in our history. And we've been in a lot of things as a nation, as far as being in trouble. You know, these heathen warring with us, you know, committing mass genocide against our people. But Jacob's time of trouble is going to be way far worse when you know what Jacob's time of trouble is all about. Okay, we're in the midst of that, right? It says the recent spate of H5N1 bird flu cases in Cambodia is just a case in point, Chatterjee added. Some public health experts believe the next disease X will be zoonotic, meaning it will originate in wild or domestic animals, then spill over to infect humans. Ebola, HIV/AIDS, and the Crown Vic were zoonotic outbreaks. However, there are other sources of diseases, and bioterrorism could be the cause of the next pandemic. See, this is showing you that the scriptures don't lie. Okay. Did not the Lord hit old Egypt with plagues that had involved disease, right? It's no different. He said he's gonna hit Egypt with plagues as before. And he's not talking about the old landmass of Egypt, because you got the Ishmaelites controlling that. He's talking about, again, spiritually Sodom in Egypt. Okay. This is going to happen, man. Okay. Let me write this precept. 2nd Esdras 16 In verse 18, it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? See? What do you think a deadly outbreak of a disease is going to cause? All right, great evil. That's a great evil, man. People can die. Okay, anytime people can die from a disease outbreak, that's fatal. Okay, that's what the word pestilence means, a deadly disease. Let me get that again on Google. It says pestilence definition: a fatal epidemic disease, especially bubonic plague. See, so fatal. Okay, the word fatal. Let me look it up real quick. The word fatal. It says causing death. See, causing death. Excuse me, causing death, a fatal accident, deadly, lethal, mortal. Mortal means you can die. Immortal means you can't die. Okay, so this is what the outcome can be. Okay, this is why we warn our people of the danger. Okay, that's approaching. Okay, this is the job of a man of the Lord. The Lord said, he hath set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which should never hold their peace day nor night. So we're the watchmen. We're blowing or sounding the alarm of danger that's approaching the people, which in this case I'm talking about our people. All right, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, which are the Israelites of the Bible, man. We're the children of Israel. Okay, it's going to affect our people, all right, the worst, because again, Jacob's time of trouble pertains unto who? The Israelites. Now, will other nations be in trouble? Yeah, of course. But Jacob, which the heathen nations don't like us. Okay, they are enemies. Okay, why you think that when this last pandemic we had that just happened, or just been officially declared over by President Joe Biden, why you think that it was affecting so-called Negroes and Latinos the most? Okay, and that's why from the apostles on down, we talk about getting yourself in the best health as you can, because having a healthy immune system can help you fight off different sicknesses. But like I said, the scriptures speaks about these things happening. Okay, that's why everything we talk about, all right, we filter it through the scriptures, because the scriptures speak of these things. This is a prophetic book, all right, and these prophecies are speaking very loud and very clear. Okay, let me read a little more. All right, it says bioterrorism. All right, it says the possibility of an engineered pandemic pathogen also cannot be ignored. Wow, said the authors of a 2021 article in the journal Infection Control and Hospital Epidemiology. So they're talking about an engineered pandemic pathogen. Wow, that's crazy. All right, let me define that for you. And this is in the New York Post. This is a major media outlet, right? Engineered, of an organism modified by manipulation of genetic material, skillfully and deliberately arranged rather than arising naturally or spontaneously. Wow, they got this in the New York Post. I'm shocked. You know, I remember when we was speaking about, when this pandemic we just got out of, they was taking our videos off YouTube when you spoke out against it. That's the reason why I'm being YouTube friendly in this video. I'm just reading what I'm basically reporting on what they reported on in the New York Post. That's crazy, man. These are the same. I'm telling you, the same things we were saying. It's the same thing I just read. Right, I'm gonna read it again. It says the possibility of an engineered pandemic pathogen also cannot be ignored, said the authors of a 2021 article in the journal Infection Control and Hospital Epidemiology. That's crazy, man. See, we had a media outlet like this that was on a national level, they would immediately come against our media outlet and take it down. But because it's the New York Post, it's allowed to be up. And that's the spirit. I'm glad I'm reading. I'm glad I was able to read this to you Akim and you Akwaf that are listening and tuning in. It says the release of such pathogens, either through laboratory accidents or as an act of bioterrorism, might lead to a disastrous disease X as well, and has been remarked as a global catastrophic risk, the authors added. Wow. You know what that reminded me of? Well, what they was referring to was right here. Chemical weapon, right? It says chemical weapon definition from Google. A chemical weapon is a chemical used to cause intentional death or harm through its toxic properties. All right. It says munitions, devices, and other equipment specifically designed to weaponize toxic chemicals also fall under the definition of chemical weapons. Wow. This is, man, this is heavy. All right. I mean, really goddamn heavy, because, like I said, you brothers out there know that, this type of stuff gets you, your channels shut down, flagged. But hey, the New York Post is a major outlet, and I watch the news, and I haven't heard any backlash about this. That's crazy. But when I as I'm reading, all right, and when I think about everything I'm reading, right, you know what comes to mind? The book of Ezekiel. All right, the book of Ezekiel, because I entitled this video, "A Sword is Sharpened," right? A sword is simply a weapon, right? But remember, there are different kinds of weapons. You have weapons like guns. You have weapons like the top being the missiles, the ICBM missiles, or the new hypersonic missiles, even, right? And then you have nations have used chemical weapons in the past. Those of us that are descendants of so-called Native Americans, of the so-called native tribes, we know this to be very true, because a lot of the North brothers, the tribes of Gad, they was taken out by this same method, all right, chemical weapons called smallpox. So we as Israelites have experienced that, right? And even the bubonic or black plague, right? We know about that very well, okay? Because you had that disease spread like a wildfire, and that's how these pandemics happen. These diseases spread like wildfire, okay? So you brothers out there and you few sisters out there, be mindful, okay? Be mindful of what's around you, and be mindful of and I need to as well, do better on my immune system, to keep myself in good and or the best health as I possibly can, because your immune system is your first line of defense, okay? So the book of Ezekiel 21:9, it says, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. Right? It says, verse 10, it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? See? And what Jake doing? Jake out here just fucking just in la la land. Okay? All these things happening across this earth. All right? These things are happening on a global scale. And you got our people, all right, at least 2/3 is, just not even paying attention. Not even preparing themselves for what's to come. Or what's happening right now, what's brewing up before our very eyes. Okay? It's happening right before our very eyes. If you can't see it, it's because you're just, man, the Lord really has you blind, all right? Okay? So it says, it is sharper to make a sore slaughter, it is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? The answer is no. What does Scripture say about mirth? Okay, let me go to the book of Ecclesiastes. Okay. Ecclesiastes 7:2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. Right? It says, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. So if you're in the house of mirth right now, the scriptures call you a fool. We're living in some very evil times. Just like I said in Ephesians, be circumspect because the days are evil. Right? These days are really, really evil. And they get more evil by the days and weeks. Okay? This is not a game. This is not a test. That shit's over with. It's already been a test run. It's already been, practice of you know what I'm saying? Of this sword that's or this evil that's been, happening. Okay? And there was a lot of casualties in this last pandemic we just had. People losing their life. All right? So why would you be in the house of mirth? This last pandemic we just had showed you how serious these diseases could be. So you should be taking this very serious. All you Israelites out there. See? This is not a game, man. And we know. All right. Again, we know why it's happening. Excuse me. This is the book of Psalm 17 and 13. It says, arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. See? Now, it's a spirit because I was just with the Chicago Akim the other day. Monday, a couple days ago, right? And we was talking about, the evils that's going on, right? I was watching, a movie with the young brothers of the Chicago camp and a few of the, bishops that was in there. And, it was a beautiful time we was having, watching the movie and talking about the great evils that's getting ready to happen. We was watching the movies called The Monsters of Men. All right. And we was talking about all the devices that the wicked have prepared. All right. that's going to be a snare to a lot of you Israelites out there, man. And we know who the wicked is, man. Esau, Edom, man. Okay. This is what King David was talking about. All right, deliver my soul from the wicked, man. The scriptures call Esau, Edom, the border of wickedness, man. And the Lord had created him for the day of evil. All right, according to Proverbs 16:4. Okay. So he's doing his job. All right. You Israelites out there that's unfaithful, you're not hearkening to the warning, and you're going to get caught up by these devices, which are snares. See? A sword is being sharpened, man. The Lord has a great slaughter right here in the land of Idumea. That's the book of Isaiah, the 34th chapter. See? When it speaks about Babylon, which is America, hey, it's going to be a lot of loss of life here over here, man. This is Babylon the Great. The Lord has his eyes upon this sinful kingdom. And it starts with the capital of this kingdom that we're living in, which is the kingdom of Esau, Edom. And the capital of his kingdom, his modern day Basra, will be America. The city of confusion. All right, the great city of confusion, because the word Babylon simply goes back to the word Babel or Babel, which means confusion. Okay? And the Lord has a destruction for it. But before the destruction comes, there are other plagues the Lord will hit this place with. It. Just the destruction is the ultimate plague that's going to take this place out. See? Because the Most High is the one that controls, all right, the sword. Remember, the Most High controls, all right, well, let me get that. Hold on. Let me get that. The Most High controls both sides, because the Lord, hey, the Heavenly Father is the one that, well, I'm just going to read it, Shalaki. I'm just going to read it. Isaiah 45:7, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. Now, the word Lord is in all caps, right? It says, I, Yahweh, do all these things in the Hebrew. So it's the Heavenly Father, the Most High himself, Yahweh, that's doing these things. Okay? The Lord has a judgment for 2/3 of our people. All right? And they're gonna get the same judgment as far as when it comes out to the plagues and destruction. All right, they're gonna get the same judgment as Esau on this side. They gotta be a part of that lake of fire. All right, because they will not return unto him that made them. See? So while this sword is being sharpened, we know who's behind it, right? Esau, Edom. But we must also remember that the Most High controls Esau, Edom. Remember, the Most High ruled in the kingdom of men. All right, the Most High controls the king's heart and turneth it whithersoever he will. Okay? And don't forget that. All right, so when they speak about when the scriptures speak about the wicked preparing that sword or furbishing that sword, really that's the Most High, all right, furbishing that sword or preparing that sword, okay? He's using the wicked to do that, okay? Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red. Now, the word horse represents power, right? And we know who was red, right? It's speaking about a man. Now, let me read that, and I got a precept to go with this, right? And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Now, who was that talking about? Who was red? Let's go to Genesis 25. Okay? Because we know why the earth is not in peace right now. because of Esau. All right, but let's read it though. Genesis 25 and 25. This is going back to the time of Isaac and Rebekah. All right, and Rebekah had conceived, meaning Isaac put his semen in her, and she was having twins, which were fraternal twins, Esau and Jacob. And this is who would describe as being red, right? Going right to the point. Genesis 25 and 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. See? So who is that talking about when you read it again in Revelation 6 and 4? It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. That's talking about Esau, which it says he was given a great sword, right? Well, that goes back to his blessing. What did Isaac tell Esau his blessing would be? Well, let's get it, okay? The book of Genesis, chapter 27. I'm going to start at verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. This is what Isaac told Esau. See? This is how you know. This is how you know it's talking about Esau, Edom, the wicked. Malachi 1:4, he's the wicked. His blessing is what? The sword. A great sword was given unto him. Why is no peace in the earth? Because the wicked is ruling. Esau, Edom. Why do you think the earth is in such state or such condition, such dire condition that it's in right now? It's because of Esau, man. Everything is out of its course because of Esau, Edom. Begin with their elites, man. All right. So you need to consider, okay? You need to consider, again, going back to Psalms, let me read that in the Psalms again, because you need to consider this. This is a Psalm of King David, all right? So you'll understand. Let me read it again, though. This is what he said, Psalm 17 and 13. I had to get it again, right? It says, arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Malachi 1:4, Esau, the border of wickedness. King David said, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. And he was referring to who? The Most High Heavenly Father, Yahweh. Because King David understood who controlled the wicked, who created the wicked. Why the wicked do what they do? Because the Most High created him to do, all right, his will. So Esau, all right, believe it or not, is doing the Most High's will. By what? From this role as being the wicked. See? You wonder why people are dying left and right? Look no further than the wicked, man. You have to be let me keep moving along. we keep warning you over and over, man. We keep warning you over and over. And what you guys out there doing that are among our people, talking about you Israelites, man. You're out there bullshitting, man. You're out there bullshitting. Let me get a precept. Amos 9 and 10, it says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. How many people of the Lord people are going to die, right? Let me go to Zechariah the 13th chapter real quick. Zechariah 13:8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein, which is the remnant. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my power. All right, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, it's our power, man. So 2/3 are going to be cut off and die on this side. All right, because why? That's the Lord's will. Okay. Amos 9:10 again, it says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. And this is what their attitude is. You see it because why? Their actions, man. They don't think that such a plague like this, which the World Health Organization is basically telling the people, this could happen and this could be catastrophic. This could be fatal to a lot of people, and it could be a lot worse, man. And Jake still ain't catching on, right? They don't think that this evil can overtake them and take them out. Okay? Hey, what the scriptures say, let me get that real quick. Let me get some real quick. No, not that one. Wrong one, Slocky. Let me see some real quick. Bear with me 1 second. Let me see here. I know this precept, it just slipped my mind exactly where is it. Okay, let me see. Hebrews 10:31. That's it. Hebrews 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. All right, which is who? The Most High Heavenly Father. All right. You're gonna know why the Lord is known as, by the heathen. They call him Alashatya. He's a terrible demon-like power, man. The Most High don't play, man. And the Most High put that hit out on you, ain't nothing gonna stop that hit from being, executed. Now, all you Israelites out there that's bullshitting around, I guarantee you, when that sword come upon you, you're gonna know who done it. You're gonna know. All right. Playtime is over, man. All right. Like you said, like the movie Friday, ain't nobody playing but you. Right? The Most High is not finna mess around, man. All right? When he bring forth that judgment, all right, that's it. When that judgment come, that's it. All right, that's an Slocky, wrong one. Yeah, when them plagues hit hard, when they hit home, when they hit, hold on, baby, 1 second. When these plagues hit, man, they're gonna hit. Here we go, right here. Come on. Here we go. 2 Ezra 16:37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Yeah, why you think we stress it so much to you? We're not doing this for our health. Okay? Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Right? Because when a woman's in labor and them labor pains compass her womb, they come back to back to back to back until she pushed that baby out. And she's in great fear when that's happening. All right? She's been tormented with pains. That's why I say, you see a woman in labor, she's yelling, she's grunting. That's great pain that she's experiencing. And so will be these plagues. Okay? Verse 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come up on it. See? And sorrow shall come up on it on every side. See? And it's going to happen, all right, where these places are going to come on every side. Because when you go in the book of Amos, how he described the day of the Lord, as you flee from a lion and a bear met you, you escaped, the bear ran in the house, leaning on the wall, and the serpent bit you. Meaning everywhere you turn to, it's going to be hell out here. All right, that's Amos, the 5th chapter, okay? You read about, the day of the Lord. What do you think is approaching? The day of the Lord. But there are events, all right, plagues that's going to happen leading up to the day of the Lord. And Jake just out here bullshit, man. Like the day of the Lord ain't approaching. Like I read in Amos, the 9th chapter, it said that the evil should not overtake or prevent us. That's what you Israelites out there that are fucking around, that's what you're doing, man. What's that? Amos, the 6th chapter? Let me see here. Yeah, Amos 6:3. Ye that put far away the evil day and cause the seed of violence to come near. That's what you're doing, man. You're putting far away the evil day, like the evil day is so far down the road. We're living in a time of great mourning. They should say Lamentations. That was found written in the book, right? Mourning, lamentation, and woes, right? You're gonna have famines out here, pestilences, or sedition among men. We're living in a great evil time, all right, during these times. Okay? There's a change of power going on, where the Most High Father is going to send his son, Yahweh Shai, back to conquer the kings on the earth, man. And that involves a lot of people dying. So we're living in a time of really just, a lot of bloodshed, man. That's going to happen. All right, let me get ready to close. I know I've been going for a while, but hey, it's a spirit, because this is heavy, man. All right. 2nd Ezra 15:5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. All right. Now you jump down, right? I'm gonna jump down real quick. I read some of this, right? But let me just, right here, verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. See? Woe means destruction, man. It's going to be a lot of people being destroyed in this time to come, man. That we quickly approaching right now. It behooves you to get your shit together, man. And I'm talking about you Israelites out there. Get your shit together. All right, do that which is right in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, so that you may be saved, man. To those of you that truly believe, hey, get it in gear, man. Because this information I just brought out in this video, I mean, it surprised me the way they telling it in the New York Post. I would never thought they would have just had all this in the New York Post. Because one thing about, you know, the mainstream news media outlets is they usually suppress, you know, the truth. All right. But that article was very eye-opening, and you best, you know, read the rest of it on your own time, you know. But hey, man, I'm just, you know, hoping that, Lord willing, you know, you sincere Akim and you know, sincere Akwaf, you know, lay it to heart and build yourself up, all right, in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, and, you know, believe on him and his son and cling unto his word, because the Lord's word will not go out void, man. All right, the Lord's word will not return to him void. I'm sorry. So with that, I want to say, Lord willing, this video would have been edifying. Shalom to the next video. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. And Baba Shalom.